Mr. Captain Rossi, thank you for having us here again, after 3 years actually. It seems like that these 3 years almost was a decade in terms of changes of the Hungarian national team, in a lot of senses. I don't know if you remember your words 3 years ago when we talked about the death group, facing the death group basically with Portugal, France and Germany, of course. If you look at the national team today, it seems like it's a whole lot of a different team. In terms of stamina, in terms of confidence, in terms of knowledge even. So, what if you thought that in 3 years this change, this transition can go through?
But to be honest, in that moment, I'm generally not thinking more than to the next, target that we have, to the next match. Of course, now we are close to the European Championship. Is our next target. We will have 2 friendlies before and then the group stage in the European Championship. Of course, to be there once more is because in those 3 years we made improvements, and those improvements were many, were really several improvements, thanks to the quality on one side of the players of the national team, and on the other hand, thanks to their desire, wish, commitment in order to improve themselves and to improve the quality of the performances, because we think that through the quality of the performances we could achieve always better and better and better results. Then, of course, there is always in every aspect of life, not only in sport, not only in football, also the aspect of luck that is always very, very important. But we are working, we try to work in those 3 years in order to decrease as more as possible the importance of luck in our matches. So basically we are happy. I'm happy for the work done by the players first, by all my staff, done by exceptional professionals, and then I'm not at the end, maybe at the beginning, I'm really happy because you can see clearly that there is this kind of unity between the squad and the fans. And it's looking like that our fans, especially in the last 2 years, are getting always closer to the national team, always supporting us, even in the difficulties, even in the moment in which the things were not perfect. And it's important because I hope no, but it's possible that we will face difficult moments.
Okay, well, it was interesting to see in the national team's movie, Együtt, Egyenesen az EB-re, with this title, that even the team captain, Dominik, was saying that you should have seen the captain, how he started at the beginning of this work. He changed a lot. He went through a transition himself. So it's very interesting that it's probably a personal evolution of yourselves as well, to become to the level and to be a coach where you are at now. What do you feel it was the most important to change in your coaching style, if you did anything?
But if I have to think on myself 10 years ago or 12 years ago when I came in Hungary for the first time, and then I'm looking to me now, I'm looking like another person. Also, because of my attitude on the bench or towards the players, I think that a coach, like everybody in his profession, has to try to improve day by day, because it's not something that is not a fixed knowledge that, okay, you have or you cannot.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's a lifelong learning.
Of course.
In this as well.
Of course, making the difference that are in this, but we are like doctors. I mean, one doctor has always to study in order to check which kind of illnesses are coming, the way in which is possible to deal with this kind of illnesses. In football is similar. I mean, we are absolutely on a different level, on a different in a different branch. But yes, we have to improve every day together with our players. And this is what we are trying to do basically in every training session. In every training camps, we try every time to add something, and step by step, small details are making differences. And this is what we are working on. But of course, you can offer to the guys some things, but then it's depending on them. If they want and they are available to listen to you, to follow your indications.
You even mentioned that the leadership of the Hungarian Football Association, even the president, asked you to sort of express a certain calmness on the bench, that you have to even change your style, that you're wearing a suit, which is a big sacrifice of you, which is funny to believe because I would think, an Italian man wears a suit like a second skin. But is it really a sacrifice for you to sort of dress like that?
Private life, generally, I'm not even wearing the jacket because I'm feeling much more comfortable in a quite, how can I say, casual style of wearing. But of course, there are, dress codes. And when you are the captain of the Hungarian national team, especially the Hungarian national team, you must give an image of the country, of the federation that must be the right one.
Yeah, but this image really suits you, if I look at you.
There is a good quality of sweat, that's why. But yes, I think, for instance, the tie, I never wear the tie. The tie for me is really a sacrifice, but in the bench, I have to wear, and I will do, of course. I have to say that it's not only this. At the beginning, it was a hard job for me to try to force myself to be more calm in the bench. But then, step by step, this calmness probably arrived and came also thanks to the efforts and to the performances of the guys. Because when you are confident in someone, there is no reason to be nervous. Then, of course, the results is depending on many things, on situation. In that case, you can have some. But yeah, in general, at the beginning of every match, I'm feeling myself much more confident than at the beginning of my venue here.
However, talking about calmness, and of course, just the opposite at the same time. If I remember your temper in Lithuania, after the first half of that match, when it was 0-2, and you said, guys, I don't even recognize this sport. I mean, how can you proportionate your opinion when you have to be harsh or you have to be like a little bit more friendly? I think it's very important. It's more like a matter of psychology, or it's just a coaching experience?
I think that is both together. Also because you cannot offer to the guys always the same profile. If you are always really, how can I say, harsh in the communication, then in the moment in which you need to be even harsher, you are not able to transfer this state of mind that you have and what you want to improve. So if you have a general calm state, and then sometimes when it's needed,
you raise your voice?
Yeah, they are. I remember, for instance, the last friendly we played against Kosovo.
Which is, it's never a friendly.
That we know is never friendly. Yes. But between the first and the second half, I was a bit
tempered, let's say.
My temper, yeah. And the guys reacted very well in the second half because they understood well what I would like to say to them. And I have to say that the difference between the first and the second half, not only because of the result, but because of the performance, was clear. So I think it's important, first of all, being yourself. Because, I said several times, maybe the football players, they have a not so high level of instruction because maybe they didn't study too much because of professional sport or whatever, but for sure, to play at this level, they are absolutely intelligent. And if they respect you as a man first and as a coach after, because of your knowledge and everything, then they will follow you. But you must be yourself with them. You cannot lie to them. You must be loyal.
You're always, I think you're famous of your realistic, opinion, always, and you always say it out. You don't keep it inside, which is, I think, it's important that this is somehow a new culture in Hungarian football, which I think it's very, very important. You also said that this team doesn't need heroes. It doesn't need player of the match. You need a very strong team with a team spirit. When these guys are compact, which is a very unusual phrase. I've never heard of that about the team like that. But of course, you cannot make success without individuals who can bear pressure, who can make decisive moments, who can make decisive goals, like Szoboszlai, and of course now we have many of them, thank God, in the team. So how can you boost the confidence of the individuals you need to bear pressure and still keep the team as one?
Yeah, but what is interesting is that this kind of opinion or feeling that I shared in the interviews or with the press, with the fans, is something that also the players said, and especially the most decisive players. We can talk, you mentioned Dominik. Dominik is the first, is the captain of the team, he's playing in Liverpool, he's the star of the team, everybody knows him at international level, not only in Hungary, but he's the first saying to the other players, we are in the same boat. We have to go in the same direction. We don't have star. Is the first. We don't have star in this team. We are all together on the same level. So this is because I could say this, but then if they say, okay, what is saying? I am. We have several players that could say this, but everybody is really feeling himself part of the group. They are acting between each other in this way, and in the difficulties, they are helping each other also on the pitch.
Of course. Did you anticipate that Dominik would be such a team captain, with all the talent, with all the personality he has, off and on pitch, of course, that he would be that kind of a leader within the team?
He had. We decided. We start on thinking to give to him the armband when Adam say to us, to me especially, that he would like to leave the national team, he would like to leave the football, and he said this in advance, more or less 1 year before leaving, and we already started to thinking who could be, but it came immediately to our mind to decide for Dominik. He was only 21. I think, at that moment when we started on thinking on him.
But seemed to be very young, but he's not very mature.
Because of his personality, of course, because of his talent, because the captain of a national team must have different skills, different level of one, for instance, was to be recognized at international level by everybody, not only by the fans, also by the referees, by everybody. So we put all together these things, but then I have to say something, that the fact to give to him the armband make him immediately much more responsible. So and he grew up. Mm-hmm.
He became premature a little bit in his mind, right?
Yeah. He helped a lot the national team, but he was helped a lot by the armband of the national team, I think.
Last time, talking about individuals and personalities, you told something very important about the goalkeeper position, saying that goalkeeper is a very lonely position. Because, of course, when there is a mistake, you're the loneliest person in the world. But whenever it's a success, you're just a part of the team. Now we have the luxury of having at least 2 world-class goalkeepers. And I think this is one of the major questions of this season before the European Championships. What is going to be the major aspect of choosing between, of course, Gulácsi, who came back from this definitely very difficult moment of his life, and he made it back from this very bad injury. And of course, there is Dibus, who has been waiting in 2 European Championships to get the role finally, and he couldn't make it. He was there, but he never played. So what will be the major point that you will search for?
We are in a position now in which both are doing really well. We already, of course, we know well that Danish had a fantastic year, we can say more than 1 year, in which he was in the goal. Previously, we had a clear, position, we can say, hierarchy about the goalkeeper, in which Dibus was the second and Gula was the first. Now, due to the fact that Gula was injured and Dibus did really well, this hierarchy is came a little bit more, on the same level. We cannot say that there is still this kind of hierarchy. We will see in the next month, or till the last moment, in every kind of decision taken by me, till the moment in which this decision will be not wrong, everybody must support. If we are Hungarian, if we must stay together, we must support each other.
Absolutely. Now we are in a different position talking about our group opponents. Of course, Germany is there, but now we have a good experience of playing against Germany, even though now Nagelsmann is now the responsible of leading that team at home. And of course, we have Switzerland and Scotland. Of course, it seems like a little bit more easy than it was 3 years ago. And we have a different national team. So what are your expectations?
We must say that I could say that probably, but I'm pretty sure that since the previous European Championship, we did several improvements. So we are a better national team compared to the national team who played the 21 European Championship, 2021 European Championship. But at the same time, on the other end, we have 3 opponents that on the paper, maybe Germany, is the same, even we can say better, because especially in the last 2 friendlies, they show all their potential.
Absolutely.
So I think that Germany today, playing at home with this team, with this squad, with this coach, they are between the favorites to win. So Germany is on another level. Talking about Switzerland and Scotland, Switzerland, yes, is not France, or we cannot say that it's Portugal, but it's quite close on the level. And Switzerland in all the European or World Championship, always in the last, I think, 20 years, they always went through the groups. So it's because they have very, very good players, everybody coming from the top leagues, everybody, most of them expert at international level, and Switzerland is a top team. So then with Scotland, we can say that we are more or less on the same level, with differences between the teams, of course. They are quite physical team, very aggressive, with a lot of power, especially under the physical aspect, bringing all players from the Premier League or the English Championship or from Rangers or Celtic by the Scottish football. So it's a very tough opponent, especially under the physical aspect. Then they have also quite good players under the technical aspect. If we think, for instance, in Robertson, McTominay, McGinn, you know, then...
So the general expectations of yours is to make it to the next round?
Look, in my, of course, my target, my dream in this moment is to go through the match, the group, because it will be one step forward, respect the previous championship, European championship. And we want, I said several times, we are working in order to improve ourselves step by step. We are not at the end of our trip. We are only, I hope, in the middle. We can still improve. I feel that we can improve a lot.
There is a real potential in this team.
There is potential, and we would like, of course, in order to improve, you must achieve results and targets. So for us, it will be very important to go through this group. It will be very difficult. We will have to think match after match. But I think that in our group, not even Germany, in this moment, could say, oh, we will win for sure against Hungary.
You probably can never say for sure in football.
Nobody could say this, and especially in the last period, when they have to play against us, I feel that everybody is much more respectful than in the past.
Talking about respect and, of course, the warmth of the audience. Marco Rossi is now a Hungarian citizen as well, and you can listen to the Puskás Arena that tens of thousands of people singing your name. Of course, I think the audiences and the fans' approach has been changed a lot towards you and towards the national team. In that aspect of being a leader of this team, what has been changed inside of you, if anything?
But to be honest, I think that inside, I didn't change too much. I'm feeling to be the same person that came here in Hungary 12 years ago. Of course, the fact that at the beginning, nobody knows me, and now, I don't want to say everybody, but most of people recognize me.
Yeah.
Even in the street, asking to me for pictures or autograph, something like that is making me proud, of course, of the job that we have done, especially in the last period with the national team. And this is something that you can feel when you are talking with people. They are really appreciating you, they are really supporting you. Then, of course, not everybody. We have always an average, a percentage that is against for different reasons. But yeah, I think that in football, the majority of the crowd is on our side, on my side. They are supporting, even, I repeat, in the moment in which the things are not going in the best of the way, but they are always sharing their appreciation, and this is, to be honest, is making me proud.
Well, I can understand that you have all the right to be proud. It was also very nice to listen to Lacko Zsolt. I had a chance to make an interview with him, and he said it's not just an honor to work with you, but he considers you as a role model in this position. Maybe in one day, I don't know, you can finish the sentence, he can make it to become maybe a head coach somewhere in other teams. But also in the same time, and let me just close our conversation with this, for me, it was very touchy to listen to and to read your son's statement. It was like it was a confession. And I know that he's a water polo player and he's playing in Hungary. But what he said and his desire is to once become a member of your team in football coming out of water polo. So what do you think about that?
But we spoke about this since, I think, 2016 or 17, because he took the license. He's already, since then, he is the UEFA B coach, so in football, not in water polo. A UEFA B licensed coach, then he's also match analyst, so he knows about football. He grew up with football, he knows. under the tactical. Of course, his sport was always water polo. He's still in very, very good shape. So it's difficult, and I will never say to him, stop with water polo and start to work with me. He will decide the time to start on working with me. I hope to have many more years in front of me to give to him this chance. But when he will decide, of course, one place is already in my staff is there for him. Because of course, he will need at that point to start on working, learning the way of working. Because, you know, it's just like when you are graduated. You are going to the university, you are graduated with the maximum of the votes. You are the best student, but then you have to start on learn the way of working.
But what a nice way. I mean, what can a father can ask for than to have that kind of, you know,
I think that
confession from his son.
To my son and to my daughter, I never, me and my wife, of course, we never say to them, you must do this, 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 or that. We just try to give them an example, because words are flying in the wind, but the example, what you are doing, is there, and they can see. So I think that with him, when he will start to work with me, I will have nothing to say. He will see, he will watch, he will understand the way of doing the head coach, the way of being the second coach, the way of being match analyst, the way of being pagliaedze. So all these things, he must be open to learn everything about football, because you never know in life what it will be more useful for you in the future.
Well, I wish for him and for all of us to have a very, I would say, nice and important way of learning throughout this upcoming Euro 2024. And of course, I wish you and your boys, your players, a very successful European Championships and the preparation until for that.
I hope that your work could go in the even.
Okay, all right. Let's hope for that. And congratulations for the team, and also for this fantastic transition that we have been seeing. It's a real pleasure to see this team performing in a way as it does. Thank you so much. Thank you.